The St. Bonaventure community faced the death of a legend, and one local boy is making a big difference. Hello and welcome to Sbu TV. I'm Christy Andrzejewski.
And I'm Sam Dibble. St. Bonaventure University said goodbye to one of its finest friars on Thursday. Andrea Doneth reports.
This week, St. Bonaventure University will lay to rest one of its own. Father Dan Hurley passed away March 13th during emergency surgery at Olean General Hospital. He was 90. Hurls, as most people knew him, spent nearly all of his life at Bonaventure as a student, a professor, a friar, and as National Alumni Board chaplain for 30 years.
He was a true Bonaventure man through and through. If you cut Father Dan open, he'd bleed brown and white.
Hurley became Father Dan Riley's mentor almost 40 years ago.
I learned a lot from Dan just watching him, so it was a wonderful thing to walk with a brother who gave his unique gifts to us for so long.
Together, they became the founding fathers of Mount Irenaeus. And many mountain goers remember Hurls for something sweet.
To make pies.
His famed pie.
But most of all, they remember his joy for life.
Simply successful at life for the fact that he was happy.
I've never met anyone who was so filled with joy. He had that big chin that everyone noticed, but he had an even bigger smile.
And although St. Bonaventure University is mourning the loss of a legend, the legacy of love that Father Dan left behind will never be forgotten.
He loved me, and he loved God, and he loved the people around him. He taught me a lot about love. And in our world, you need people to teach that lesson, not books.
For Sbu TV, I'm Andrea Doneth.
Father Dan also spent time on the campus ministry team as residence director, dean of men, coordinator of freshman students, and academic counselor.
Now, Sbu TV's Katie Beacham has a look at the effects of the state budget cuts in this year of the multi-billion-dollar deficits.
The state's budget deficit is affecting everything from local classrooms to state parks. 65,000-acre Allegheny State Park will face several changes to help address the state's fiscal difficulties.
Due to the economic recession, the state is facing what's now a $9 billion budget deficit.
Allegheny Park will close Quaker Area Swim Beach, close Quaker Cabins area on December 1st, eliminate trail maintenance, and reduce recreation programs. Keefe says the total amount saved is about $175,000. Keefe gave some of the factors used when deciding what parks to close.
We looked at attendance, operating costs, revenue, the availability of similar outdoor services nearby, and had to make some difficult decisions.
Not everyone was happy about spending cuts. Residents held a rally to support the Allegheny State Park. But parks aren't the only ones to feel the blow.
Spending is being reduced at schools, hospitals, nursing homes. The park system is no exception.
In all, 23 parks and 1 historic site will have service reductions. 41 parks and 14 historic sites will be closed in New York State. School districts across the state will also be faced with closings.
The decision to close Limestone actually is something that has been in the works for several years.
Limestone Elementary has been a home to students for generations, but due to recent decline in class sizes, the time has come for the doors to close.
Is it really worth keeping the school open for the number of children that are there?
Mackowski says some class sizes were down to just 10 students.
Conventional wisdom is a small class is always better, but you need a certain critical mass of students in a classroom in order to really get a good classroom experience. So it is possible to have a classroom that's too small.
Limestone will combine with Allegheny Elementary, creating Allegheny Limestone Elementary. But the loss is not only devastating to the school, but the community as well.
That school really has a very emotional connection to that community. Limestone just voted in the fall to dissolve itself as a village. And so there was that blow, and then suddenly to lose the school, which would be another blow to the community's identity, that became really tough.
This past February, 6 out of 9 school board members voted to shut the school down this summer. For Sbu TV, I'm Katie Beacham.
Bonaventure senior Andrea Doneth is used to being a standout on the basketball court, but recently she was honored for something different.
Andrea Doneth left the court and was presented with the 9th Annual Woman of Promise Award, given to a female journalism student who excels in and out of the classroom. Journalism School Dean Lee Coppola, with the help of Bonaventure graduate Leah McGrath Goodwin, talked about Doneth's success at the awards ceremony.
Watched her academically, but the academic achievements that she has achieved, the service, the concern for her following it. I mean, her teammates all say she's such a wonderful leader.
Finding out she was this year's recipient came as a surprise to Doneth.
I'm just really appreciative that the faculty would think of me in that way.
During the ceremony, Doneth expressed her appreciation for the journalism faculty.
You've all made it known that you truly care about me, my life, my educational experience, and my future.
During her years at St. Bonaventure, Doneth didn't just spend her time on the court. She had shows on the campus radio station, and she wrote for other campus media. Doneth cites her experiences at St. Bonaventure as what has best prepared her for what's still to come in her life.
Everything that I've learned, just not only in the classroom, but what they've taught me just about life in general. Yeah, I definitely feel prepared for whatever may come in the future.
No matter where she may end up, Doneth knows she'll never forget where she's been.
St. Bonaventure is special. My time here has been everything I could possibly ask for and more.
For Sbu TV, I'm Lauren Adams.
After graduation, Doneth plans to either coach college basketball or go into the broadcast field.
Hundreds of thousands of people are still living in squalid makeshift tents in Haiti. Tents and tarpaulin offer little protection against weather, and there's no privacy. Frustrations are increasingly directed at women. Crime and rape have become a scary reality. CNN's Sara Sidner has this report.
22-year-old Carine Exantus rushed to dump her belongings on a tiny piece of open space and call it home after Haiti's earthquake toppled her world. Describe your life here. I, like everybody else, live in a very precarious situation, she says. She lives in a maze of tents in an overcrowded camp that she says is becoming a dangerous place. As a young woman, what is it like for you living in this camp? As a young woman, I'm afraid because I notice a lot of young men being aggressive towards women at night. The daytime, not much better. There are two things that hit you in this particular camp. One, you're in the shadow of the presidential palace, and two, the spaces are so confined that anything you would normally do in private ends up right out in public. There's no privacy. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? Very difficult.
Oui, very difficult.
Yes, it is very difficult, especially for young women, like places where you have to shower. This is where we get water, and this is also where we have to shower. No. Just behind the camera, a group of young men sit and stare, making comments. At night, verbal intimidation often turns physical.
There is a problem within the Haitian people. I'm telling the truth. It's in the people, in young men like me. We don't have enough understanding, which is why young girls suffer.
So men are getting frustrated and taking it out on women.
Yeah, I'm telling you this.
In the past few days, there have been 2 cases of attempted rape in this camp and 1 arrest, the camp leader says. Citywide, in the past 2 months, police received 20 reports of rape. It's not yet an epidemic, government officials say, but camp life illuminates a long-standing cultural problem.
Now, with the concentration in the camps and the lack of privacy in the camps, it's rendered more acute. So there are rapes, there are exposure of minors to sexual acts, just because people don't have a private room to go to, even if they are legit lovers. So it's a very, very, very dramatic situation.
Worse, the UN says the quake destroyed key resources such as rape counseling centers and Haiti's Ministry for Women's Affairs. But there are efforts to improve security in the camps.
We're looking at safe spaces,
creating spaces where women can access services comfortably, increasing the lighting because inadequate lighting, handing out solar flashlights so that women are safe to move around at night.
Carine Exantus says in her camp, it's still everyone for themselves. There's no sleeping easy, especially when the only thing separating you from a violent act is a wall made of bed sheets.
And you can just walk in to anybody's house.
Sara, CNN, Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
With Haiti still in turmoil, some Americans are collecting clothes and toiletries to send to Haitians, while others are taking a different approach. And you might be surprised who organized it. Amanda Ciavarri reports.
On January 12th, a 7.0 earthquake devastated Haiti, and people all over the United States have jumped at every opportunity to help. At Allegheny Elementary, faculty, students, and staff have been collecting books to send to Haiti and restore hope to the people there.
Books like these would normally be collected by organizations like the American Red Cross, but in this situation, the school librarian and a 9-year-old were behind the collection.
I wanted to help them because I was so frightened by the earthquake.
As soon as Robert Rasey saw the images of Haiti, he knew something had to be done.
When I saw that earthquake, it was huge. Like a big crack just came out of nowhere. And it destroyed all their homes. Schools, libraries could get ruined. The books could get ruined and ripped. Really hard.
Librarian Meagan Carr realized the potential in Robert's idea and got the ball rolling.
I started searching for places, organizations that are collecting books. I found this great site called Books A Go-Go, which was an organization to collect books and coloring books and crayons for schools and orphanages that lost books.
The 3,063 books are on their way to the devastated island of Haiti. For Sbu TV, I'm Amanda Ciavarri.
Robert made sure to donate his favorite book, and of course, like any 9-year-old, its subject is dinosaurs. Coming up in sports, one St. Bonaventure team has ended its playoff run, while another team may have just begun.
Plastic ones last longer.
Pork bellies close steady due to speculation that demand for bacon-related products.
Read me this one, Daddy.
Okay, honey. The less art kids get, the more it shows. Are yours getting enough? Art. Ask for more. AmericansForTheArts.org.
Mr. Murphy, Ed McMahon. We're starting up the neighborhood watch in this area, and here's all...
Stevie, get down here, please.
No, it's just
5, 6, 7, 8.
That's really cute.
Help play a part in the safety of your community. To find out how you can start or join a neighborhood watch, log on to usaonwatch.org.
Selection Monday happens once a year in women's college basketball, and for a second straight year, St. Bonaventure was part of it. While some teams knew their fate early on Monday evening by being selected to play in the NCAA tournament, St. Bonaventure waited much longer. They stood and sat around their coach's office to see if they would be included in the WNIT field for a second consecutive year. Then at approximately 11:30 p.m., head coach Jim Crawley came out of his office and delivered some good news that they were indeed headed back to the WNIT. And in the first round, St. Bonaventure drew Robert Morris, the regular season champs in the Northeast Conference. The Bonnies got off to a quick start thanks to Tiara Johnson, who hit back-to-back threes. They were her first 2 of the season. Then Jessica Jenkins gets another 3 to go. Robert Morris trying to come back as Angela Pace knocks down the jumper. And on a fast break, Vega Gamino-Martinez gets the layup to go. But right before the half, Amelia Horton finds Dana Mitchell for the bucket plus the foul. The Bonnies with a 15-point halftime lead. Bianca Houghton gets a 3 for the Colonials, but Bonaventure was too much to handle as they won easily, 76-50. Up next, the Bonnies host Big Ten foe Northwestern Monday night at 7 p.m. Last week, we reported the Sbu cheerleaders were traveling to their first ever competition. This week, they came back with a trophy.
Please welcome the St. Bonaventure cheerleaders.
The squad beat out 5 other colleges and won first place in the cheerleading division in the competition at Rowan University in New Jersey. They practiced and perfected their competition-winning 2.5-minute cheer and dance all season. Since it's the first time the team has been to competition, they're happy they've proved what they can do. Captain Taylor McElroy knows the extra effort they put in this season paid off.
I'm just proud about how everyone worked so hard, and especially how we stayed over break and everyone really worked as hard as they could to get everything perfect, and it just showed at the competition from winning. So it just really made me feel proud for the team.
The team is already looking into competitions for next year.
Senior Chris Matthews, the master of three-point baskets, discusses what the future holds for him in the St. Bonaventure men's basketball team. Matthews plans on graduating with a sociology degree in May.
That's the year that I played. We made it to the A-10 tournament for the first time in 5 years. This year we get a first round A-10 game. We win that at home. We make it to the second round. I mean, the only place to go from here is up, and you never want to look back in the wrong direction. Whatever happens, it's best for me. I'm going to go with it. I'm not going to just say I'm just going to play basketball, because if I find a job that's giving me more money than basketball, I'm probably going to get a job. And I really want to work with kids, but if I get an opportunity with basketball that's financially well, I say I'm going to go with it.
That's all for this week on Sbu TV. I'm Sam Dibble.
And I'm Christy Andrzejewski. For the rest of us in the Coop Lab, thanks for watching.